Hi, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Happy Bringling. Thank you so much for joining this meetup of Billion Dollar Dream. And I would keep it because there are less number of participants. I'll try to keep it more interactive out here. And, from there, I'll just share my presentation and we'll quickly take it up. Before I share my presentation, can I quickly ask one question? What is your objective of joining this session today? You can unmute yourself or you can put it in the chat window, whatever works for you.
Hold
Hi, Vishakesh, you want to say something?
on.
Okay. So, Pon, what do you? Okay, so Bhageshri says unable to hear. No problem, Bhageshri. You can. We will share the recording and then we can take it up. Let me just share my screen.
You accidentally muted yourself, Anshul.
I think it is muting me as soon as I'm sharing the screen. How does it have? Why does it happen? Wait. It is muting me up. Wait a minute. Okay. Is it? I think this is fine now, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Nivesh, for sharing that. And uh, so the whole aspect of the Indian startup ecosystem when we started the financial freedom pledge on 15th August 2020. One of the premises when I actually met Mohandas Pai, who is from Infosys, first from Infosys, and he runs actually fairly a large ecosystem and a businesses out there in Bangalore and entire Karnataka. And that's where he said that 90% of Indian startups are funded by Indian non-Indian investors or foreign investors. And if you see the data, most of them are Chinese. So I'll just start this thing with one statement, and which actually became the premise for this entire fund. Our Indian startups are not Indian because they're mostly funded by the foreign investors. And when we have a case study like Zomato or Paytm and Nika, when they have launched their IPOs in 2021, all these foreign investors exited out, giving Indian investors a loss of more than 2 lakh crore rupees out there. And that is what the biggest challenge which we, if you find it out today, that why Indians are not able to invest in Indian startups. And I mean, of course, there are reasonably right reasons for that, but we wanted to understand and kind of work on that model so that it doesn't create any challenges for them, and we can provide some kind of an opportunity which is safe, protect their capitals, and they can invest with a very small amount as well. And that's what we have been kind of working out for the last 2.5 years, when I got trained as an angel or certified as an angel investor from TAI Mumbai, and my mentor Sanjay Mehta, who is running 100x.vc at this point in time. And if you see from that perspective, this is where the whole aspect we try to figure out how we can bring it the new opportunities for that. uh, are you able to मेरा एक statement Okay, I think it will video I'll have to audio I'll have to share. Wait. मेरा एक स्टेटमेंट है इंग्लिश में, दैट स्टेटमेंट ऑलवेज स्टक हो जाते हैं तो क्या चीज आपको मोटिवेट करती है. मेरा एक स्टेटमेंट है इंग्लिश में, दैट स्टेटमेंट ऑलवेज keeps me driving, and it says something like this: either it is a good day, या तो वो बहुत अच्छा दिन है, या और इट इज अ कैरेक्टर बिल्डिंग डे, या वो आपकी सीरत को बढ़ा रहा है, आपकी चरित्र को बढ़ा रहा है किसी भी तरीके से। देयर इज नथिंग कॉल्ड बैड, बुरा दिन जैसा कुछ नहीं है। सो अगर कभी भी मेरी जिंदगी में कोई बुरा दिन आता है ना, तो मैं बस ये देखता हूँ कि मैं इस बुरे दिन से सीखूं क्या, ये बुरा दिन आया क्यों, उसको मैंने गलत किया होगा, क्या मैं इसको ठीक कर सकता हूँ। रतन टाटा हमेशा कहते हैं, और मैं भी आई मीन वो तो रतन टाटा का व्यू मैंने अभी सुना, बट ये मैं हमेशा से मानता था और हमेशा से फॉलो किया। द प्रॉब्लम इज नॉट दैट यू हैव टेकन अ रॉन्ग डिसीजन, तकलीफ ये नहीं है कि आपने गलत डिसीजन ले लिया, तकलीफ ये है कि आपने कभी डिसीजन नहीं, और एक बार डिसीजन ले लिया, उसका उसका हो सकता है कुछ गलत होगा, बट मेक श्योर कि आप उसको सही बना, और यही तक जो ताकत है ना, ये आपके साथ हमेशा रहती है। So this is where, when we started working on this, okay. So remember this thing. See, 99% of vehicles are going to be driverless, and schools will be becoming empty there. There'll be no villages or small towns. All will actually stay in cities, and we can see that in Delhi NCR and the Bangalore how it is expanding at this point in time. Even in Mumbai, it has gone till beyond Panvel, and it is said that even till Pune it will become like a part of Mumbai, and that's how the things are changing. Seawater would actually, we will start drinking the seawater, because there will be a lot of distillation plants which would be coming up in the major cities, it probably at your homes as a small plants. Power charging would become wireless, shopping malls are going to be history, and biomanufacturing of organs would be a reality. It is actually happening at this time, because if you see today, we are working with association with TIDCO, Tamil Nadu Industrial Development Corporation, and they have already got set up a biotech park under the name of Tycel, where they have a 3D printing of organs being practiced out there, and they're working on genome research and various other aspects out there. You know, money, wealth, and being rich, it is one of the basic aspect which is becoming as a thought process for people, in terms of that whether it is good or not. So when it comes to money, what does it come, it comes into your mind. Is it good? Is it the root of all evils? Is it required in life? What is that you feel into that? Just put it in the chat window. Just put one word about money, wealth, or being rich. So, see, money is something for which we do everything out there, be it studies or the work. Money is the most lovable options to bring happiness. Money has to be available in plenty to achieve our dreams. And wealth is when money keeps coming without any active work. Money can't bring happiness, but you can't be happy without money. There's nothing called get rich quick schemes out there. So you have to really work hard for all these aspects, and that is where it is very, very important that you take care of your aspects of various things out there. Again, videos are audios are giving me a little bit of a challenge right now. As soon as I'm putting the audio on, it is muting me, but I'll just put this video.
नौकरी सर कुछ नहीं बदल सकती है। नौकरी आपकी सब्जी बदल देगी। आज आलू की बनी थी, कल भिंडी की, परसों बैंगन। नौकरी सर कुछ नहीं बदल सकती है। नौकरी
I'll probably use these videos now lesser. I'll use without the audio, because it is asking me to again switching on the screens out there. Uh, this is where the whole aspect of the angel investments out there, because this is one of the biggest opportunity which is available to us, where you can make money work for you. And why is that? The money is very, very important to be made. And if you see, maybe you can just read that. So CEO,
A lot of money, right? Okay, that's earned income. Government's going to take half of it. Warren Buffett invests in Coca. The CEO of Coca-Cola made $50 million last year. A lot of money, right? Okay, that's earned income. Government's going to take half of it. Warren Buffett invested in Coca-Cola. He was paid $508 million.
Come on.
Last year. That's passive income.
As a dividend?
Yeah. And you know how many people on the internet want to be the boss?
A lot.
Dude, the boss don't make any money. The investor does.
Mm.
Don't be the boss. Don't be the CEO. So the CEO of Coca-Cola made $50 million last year.
So how could you achieve your financial freedom? See, some of these aspects why we are sharing about the financial freedom is because unless you understand the basic concepts about money and keep yourself risk protected, angel investment is going to be the biggest challenge for each of us out there. So make sure that you start early to educate yourself towards money. Separate your income into different accounts for specific purposes like investment, saving, education, necessities, play, and even for the gift, the charity part of it. Risk mitigation plan, create with insurances, whether it is life, health, or properties. Unless you have that pretty much secured out there, I would really not recommend anybody to go into the angel investments area out there. But once you do that, do diversify your investment savings from lowest risk to highest risk for a better average returns. And that is why one of the biggest opportunity which you will find it out with the angel investments. Why angel investment is one of the best opportunity at this point in time, if you see that, Peter Thiel is actually was the co-founder with Elon Musk in PayPal. When they exited from there, Peter Thiel invested around $500,000 in Facebook, and within 8 years, he actually made $1.1 billion in cash, and he still owned some of the shares in Facebook out there. Many of the people thinks that when it comes to angel investment, it is I am too old, I cannot invest at this point in time. But person like Bill Draper, he has actually invested in Skype at a very, very early stage when Skype even didn't have a business plan out there. But within 3 years, he converted his 80 lakh rupees, which is around $100,000, into 800 plus crores. And that is around 1000x plus returns in 3+ years. These are some of the good case studies which we have available right now.
Here's the truth about India. India has two of the best intelligence services in the world. One of them is the research and analysis wing, which is their foreign collection wing. The other is their internal wing. The problem is that nobody knows about India's intelligence capabilities because 80% of their effort goes into Pakistan. India is, I was just talking about it earlier today, I think. They are so powerfully pragmatic that they have found a way to be America's ally and China's ally and Russia's ally.
Yeah.
While they're increasing their GDP, increasing their consumption, and increasing their population. All three things that make for a very stellar future, right? So India is doing, right now, India is doing everything right. Nobody really talks about them except when the U.S. press talks about them, they talk about them in a negative way. Like, we can't rely on India. They don't back us anymore. And it's like, no, India's backing India.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the truth about India. India has two of the...
So India is the third largest startup ecosystem at this point in time. Indian startups are 80% sustainable versus Silicon Valley startups, which are 90%. So which makes Indian startups 2x more sustainable than the Silicon Valley startups. Global leaders like Elon Musk are coming to India, and there are many more people from not only just the business leaders, but the investors who are coming to India and investing in Indian startups. Indian businesses are expanding globally very, very fast, and they're now they've started acquiring the businesses outside India.
Here's the truth about
Zomato. If you know some of the Zomato, I'm just sharing some of the examples from the Indian startup ecosystem. Zomato actually gave 224 crores to an investors who have invested 10 lakh rupees at an angel round in 2010, which is just in 11 years of time. As we know, 90% of these investors were foreign investors and mostly Chinese. And that is where when they launched their IPOs in 2021, there was a major downfall of 2 lakh crores of worth of loss within the IPO segment out there. So one of the major aspect is that how do you identify these startups at a pretty early stage where others are able to do it, but we are not able to do it. Similarly, Oyo, which had provided, which has given us shares, returns of 250 plus x plus returns in just 3 years, where 1200 rupees share became 3.21 lakh rupees over in just 3 years of time. And again, age is, everybody knows, Ritesh was just 17-year-old boy at that point in time. See, one of the key aspects out there which we always worry about, and we think that when it comes to investments, we always want to invest with someone who is very close to you, whom you can probably control better, or maybe you can reach out better. I had wasted, or lost 1.5 crores by investing in my friend's startup in 2018 when I started my own angel investment journey. And that is where we kind of, over a period of now for almost 6 years now, we have created a methodology that how you can identify the right product market fit and the business sustainability of a business out there, and basis on that you invest into the startup. You have to identify the various aspects of expertise, experience, and the vision of the startup's founder, leadership, or the management team, rather than looking that because I know this person very well, that money will be safe. That money will be spent into the business and it will never come back. So you have to be very careful about who is the person who is running that, because at the early stages you're actually investing in people. It is still not a company, full-fledged company, which is being running like a typical businesses out there. Also check it out, what are the current economic trends, what is that, how it is working up, how are you going to align the future needs of the customers or the investors with respect to that startups, because it has to become investable. And unless it is investable, as an investor you will make money only when you take an exit at some point in time. The business profits has no benefits for the investors out there. uh, when you talk about some of the myths and because of which people don't invest in startups out there, one of the basic myth is that angel investing is for experts and wealthy. But however, nowadays, there are various options available where you can invest in angel funds with 2 lakh rupees, 2.5 lakh rupees. There are startups where you can directly invest with a very small amount of, and we have got very many investors who have kind of investing in startups with as small as 50,000 rupees or 1 lakh rupees out there as well. Angel investments are risky and can exit only at an IPO level. See, before Zomato reaches to an IPO level, there would be many investors who would have investors at different stages of time. Different times they raise the funds, and accordingly they go from pre-seed round to seed round to angel round, pre-series A, series A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on and so forth. Accordingly, there are various other aspects, and if your calculations are right, if your analysis is right, the angel investments can become the less riskiest options on all of that. And if you can hedge it with certain funds out there where you can protect your capital protection, it works out much better. And that is why one of the aspects which is going to be in our fund which we are providing. Invest only if it is visible on the news forum, stock market, or with friends. A lot of times I get this message, Anshav, where can I see this startup? Where can I see that in on some forums, like on news channels or the stock markets, or maybe with somebody who has already known. See, there is a statement, there is a saying: if a news comes in a newspaper, if the $1 billion idea has come onto a newspaper, you're actually late. So the idea of investing in startups is that you invest it at that time when nobody has heard about them. But they are going to go very, very big. In fact, most of our startups which we have committed them to invest in them, they are actually they surprised our evaluation committee as well, because they said these kind of startups you won't get it anywhere. We'll show you a little glimpse of those startups, what are they all about. But that is how the major aspects which happens into this. Now, there are certain SEBI regulations you should be very, very careful about. What are these startups and things? Number one, it has early stage investment experience. If you should have an early stage investment experience or a serial entrepreneur, or you should be a senior management professional with at least 10 plus years of experience. You have to invest minimum 25 lakh rupees over a period of 5 years. So if you are able to invest that much of an amount, that is the only thing which it works out for you. An individual with net tangible assets of 2 crore plus, excluding the principal residence. And these are the basic as requirements for becoming an angel investor if you are investing in an angel fund. uh, Most of the angel funds you invest in, either with venture catalyst or WFC or anybody, everybody will have this clause shared with you that you have to invest minimum 25 lakh rupees. Right now, SEBI might not be very strict around these rules, but they want to protect the investors' interest, and that is why these rules have been set it up out there. But if you these rules are not applicable if you're investing directly into a startup and they're ready to take you onto their stakeholder panel at at a small amount like 50,000, 1 lakh rupees, or 2 lakh rupees as well. See, there are few challenges which you will find it out in terms of Indian startups at this point in time, because of which less than 1% of the people are even exploring investment in Indian startups. The number one is because we just SEBI ruling is 25 lakh rupees over 5 years. There are very few startups, good startups, who will actually accept even 25 lakh rupees as an investment amount. They will probably look for 50 lakhs, 1 crore, or even in many of the cases, they will even look for 5 crores or so. So depending on the startups, exposures or the credibility which they have set it up, they will define the ticket size for them. Because if they have to raise $1 billion over a period of time, they cannot go ahead with one particular, shareholder which has probably 25 lakh rupees also. So it will become very difficult for them. So as soon as they start bringing in more and more investors, they will have to give the exit to the smaller investors out there as well. The second is called as risk of losing capital. As I said, 8 to 9 out of 10 investments fail, and that is what the biggest challenge within the ecosystem, within the investors mindset today, which is creating a chaos. Another third challenge, which is that if you need money, what can you do? And that is the liquidity challenges, which means that you cannot sell your shares out there. To solve these three basic problems, we have created this fund where you can actually, it's a very small fund so that we can cover up within the 200 stakeholders out there. So it is available to the very limited set of stakeholders. We will give them an offers to be a part of this ecosystem. There are investors who have invested with us at a one ticket of 17,500 rupees as well. It's a mentoring and investment company which is called as LAC Wealth Advisors Private Limited, where you will be getting the shares into it. So you are basically investing in a startup which supports the startups to, it's an accelerator, like one of the many excel like Y Combinator, there wherein we also not only just mentor them but also invest in them from the profits, or from that some of the funds which we use to invest in the startups. And that is where the one small ticket, smallest you can invest in today. Of course, there are very limited amount of shares where you can do it at a single shares out there, but you can still buy it out at 60,000 rupees or $750 per unit. It comes with a principal protection guarantee, and I'll talk about that principal protection guarantee, that how your money is 100% protected out there. The third option out there, wherein actually we give you the kind of a per annum returns, guaranteed returns out there. It's like a debt returns which we are giving it to you, so that you get your principal protected out there. Global NFT platform. So we are building up a cross-border startup decentralized investment platform on blockchain, where you can actually go and sell your shares after 31st March 2025, which is 1 year from now. And that will be one of the platform which will be available for all the startup shares or other investors as well to come and liquidate their shares out there. The whole $1 billion fund is all about digitalizing India with our something called Project Bharatvarsh, wherein all the futuristic technologies like AI, ML, AR, VR, robotics, metaverse, drones, most of these startups would be participating into the different domains of the different industry or sectors out there, be it travel, health, education, infrastructure, or anything else. And this space, climate tech, various different aspects is what we are focusing on that. The whole, as the initiative of Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao or the Awakening the Golden Bird works out from three major ecosystems perspective. One is the social impact, which is taken care by Sharmila, who is the managing director of Vardhan, which is a Section 8 company, and we basically adopt schools and colleges, and then eventually transform them and make work on a free education and free health model. I take care of the startup ecosystem and the investors model, and Dr. Vinay takes care of the skills and the wellness space out there. So that is what the whole aspect of this model, the support which we are focusing upon in terms of accessibility and ecosystem. The the current ecosystem which we have at this point in time is we have got a world record of reach in 158 plus countries. We have partnered with 50 plus venture capitalists and angel funds. 25 plus cities is what we have already covered so far in terms of various events or coverage out there. We are working with Startups India, Invest India, and along with 17 plus state governments out there. uh, Now, here are the couple of options which I'm sharing it with you. If somebody wants to go through this model of the entire financial freedom blueprint, it's a 9-step model where you will know about your net worth, set your goals, how to track your spending and investments and risk management, pay yourself first and reduce your monthly fixed expenses, good and bad debt understanding, and how do you manage your debt eventually to become debt free out there, generate multiple sources of passive income without leaving your job, how and where to invest for the highest returns, understanding about startup investments and more detailed analysis, real estate and mutual funds, SIPs, investment strategies, how you can make it much more investment model. This is more of a generic financial freedom blueprint workshops which we are conducting out there, and also the retirement planning. So if somebody wants to join that I will share the details on that. This is the the Lakpati to Crorepati offer, which I think you would have seen out there, which is available till 30th of April right now. The investment amount is 1 lakh rupees. The US dollars is 1500 US dollars. You will be given one share of the fund in the company out there. We will be utilizing the that money, the 40% of the money which is above that 60,000 rupees, to invest in some debt based funds, because of which we'll be giving you 10,000 rupees every year in your bank account, irrespective of whatever the startup dividends or returns we kind of gets in from there. There will be no, all the processing fees of 5% will be included into this. Payout after exit, so even if you exit from the fund by selling this share, your payout of your 1 lakh rupees, 10,000 rupees per annum for the 10 years will be continued giving to you for the 10 years time. Carryover fees will be reduced from if you continue to have your shares with us and you have your dividends coming out of it, there will be a carryover reduced fee of 25% out there. There is another option of 10x returns guarantees in 10 years for you, and this is basically a hedging part of it. So it's called hurdle rate concept. So if you don't get 10x returns on your investments of 5 lakh rupees or $10,000, in 10 years time we will refund your investment amount back, and that is the guaranteed 10x returns guarantee, which we are expecting that you will actually get your 10x returns in 2 to 3 years of time itself. Lifelong membership, which is going to give you multiple benefits of various memberships, exclusive access to events and luxury events and various other things, which is worth 3 lakh rupees, is going to come complimentary with this investment. Processing fees will be 0%, and carryover fees will be reduced to 20% fee, 20% out there. Future investments discounted valuation will be around 20%, and total tickets which we have available or total size available is only 21 out here. This is what the offer on. These are the 7 startups where we are going to focus on that. Cinedubs is basically a cinema dubbing technology where you can watch the same movie in 5 or 6 different languages in the sitting in the same theater or through an OTT platform. MobiPay is a fintech patented technology again, which basically works on where you can pay through your UPI with UPI or using a card with your normal phone as well rather than a smartphone. Celebfy is a AI based celebrity management company where you can chat with celebrities using their AI avatars and then eventually meet them into some cruise or some kind of a luxury events out there. Evolvex Accelerator is a part of is one of the accelerator fund run by Neeraj Tyagi, which is also part of V Founder Circle and Invest platform. And they already have around 28 startups invested through them, and they're planning to invest 30 startups. So that is another startup where invested. Together is a travel startup which works on AI based modeling to identify your itineraries and things, and it has got 23,000 plus followers on Instagram. Bringleverse is an open platform. It's a global platform for Bringle Metaverse School. It's a teacherless internet free platform, which will actually leverage the open schooling to take the open schooling to an entirely different level in a more gamified model. And AI Can Sell is an HR tech platform which works on competency development and support on that. These are the 3 QR codes. You can take a snapshot of it, or we can send you the details out there. For the various financial freedom blueprint, if you want more information, Lakpati to Crorepati offer or 10x plus Crorepati guarantee offer. Let's take a quick screenshot and then I'll open up the session for the questions. Okay, so because there are not so many participants, I'll just open the session for any questions if somebody has it. And I have some polls. I'll just try to see if I have some polls available. No. Okay. So any questions anybody has? Ramesh? Kumarpal has just joined. Hi, Kumar. Thank you for joining.
Yes, Mr. Ansar, Jain, it's my pleasure and honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I've just completed the presentation. So what I'll do is I'll share this recording with all the people who have registered out there.
Yes.
Any specific questions anybody has, around that? Vishakesh? Ramesh?
Hello.
Yeah, Ramesh.
Yeah, answer, sir. Sorry, actually, I'm driving now. I was on the bike, so I could not speak to you immediately. I could not respond immediately, instantly.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. What I was saying, ki if it is possible, if you can, pass on the recording, or you can send the link, that will be better.
Sure. Sure. I think most of you are, probably if you're not able to see through it right now, I'll share this recording with all of the people who have kind of registered for the webinar, and then we can have a separate call on the same.
So, hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, because I see, even if see myself, I could not join on time. I joined
No
late.
problem.
I
No
missed
problem. I'll share the recording with each of you,
Yeah, that
and
will be better. Okay.
so
Okay.
if there are no questions, I'll just close the session at this point in time. Okay, thank you so much, and thank you for joining. Let's work together. Let's help each other out there. Let's help Indian startups. We require a lot of money for the Indian startups at this point in time, and all Indians, if we can come forward, we can really make a big difference for all these startups, which will eventually help us to transform India back into a number 1 economy. And with this, I would just want to thank you, each of you, for joining, and looking forward to.
Hello. Sorry to interrupt.
Sorry, tell me, Vishakesh.
Have you launched the app? Because earlier you said the app will be ready in a due day's time.
There are three type of platforms which we are going to launch in the next 1 year period of time. Number
Okay.
one, which is going to be a web page, which is actually already available on the website, and that it is available. You can check it out, where you can get all the updates about the website, and I mean about the startups where we are investing and things like that. Number
Okay.
two is the community management application, which is going to be investors community, that will be launching. We will be launching in another by 30th June. That will be the target. That is the target for us. The number three would be the third application, which will be launched by 31st March 2025, latest by 31st March 2025, where you will be able to exit or sell your shares like a stock market of shares, which will be
When
a
will that
more
be
of a
ready by?
startup shares. Sorry.
By when will that be ready by?
Latest by 31st March 2025. That is why you
So
have a lock-in period to not to sell your shares by 31st March 2025.
okay, so that is more like an exchange, the app which you're
That is
talking
more
about.
like an exchange. It will be built upon a blockchain. We are just solving couple of challenges with respect to blockchain servers, cross-border currencies, and we are trying to create various other, NFT related regulations and things like that. That is why we are taking some time, but it will be available very soon.
Okay, and as of now, is there any semiconductor startup in your radar or in your portfolio that is asking
We
for
have
further funds?
see Vishakesh, semiconductor comes into more into large startups which will come into either pre-series A or a series A or series B rounds. This is mostly for the early age startups. There would be some startups coming in right now. We don't have it, to be frank, to just to answer your questions. However, we are scouting more startups at this point in time. Right now, we have committed the funds to only 7 startups. We will be looking at more startups coming in into the perspective, but there could be a possibility that we will be investing into some funds of funds. So there are funds of funds like Evolvex Accelerator. So they may have certain startups where already semiconductors are kind of they're part of the semiconductor industry. So similarly, we'll be investing in some of the other startups like funds, angel funds or syndicate funds out there, in through which we will have some kind of a indirect investment into those startups. There may not be a direct investment, or there can be some direct investments as well. So that is why we are trying to leverage or diversify the whole fund into different set of startups out there, which will be around 30 startups, which we are saying is a super 30 startups fund.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Vishikesh, for the question. uh, okay, Kumarji, do you have any questions as such as of now?
Well, I miss the most part. Sorry, I was on Zoom call. But
Okay.
when you talk about semiconductor and other things,
Mhm.
definitely once I review your video clip or you send me, then I will definitely. But I really appreciate you for making us join and acknowledge
Sure.
us.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. And let's connect very, very soon. And we'll share the recording with all of you.
Yeah.
Keep
Thank you.
bringing, keep growing.
Thank you, sir.